Here we go, guys. This is episode 1 of the Marketing Perspective podcast. I'm your host, Victor Dwyer. We are restarting the episode numbers because we kind of lost them. I'm not going to lie. We lost the numbers. So this is number 1. We're starting with Ieva. New platform, new everything, testing things out. We're going to see how it goes and just kind of go with it. So with that in mind, Ieva, we'd love to have you on and tell us more about yourself.
Hi, Victor. Always pleasure to meet you online. You give me a great vibe, and I hope we give a great vibe to our audience as well. For
Yeah.
those who join us now, hi, and for those who will join us later, maybe on snippets or the whole recording. So happy you join us. My name is Ieva. I'm friend of Victor, but overseas. I come from Europe, Northern Europe, Latvia, and I really love personal branding and helping businesses and professionals to find their tone of voice when they speak to their audience on LinkedIn. So let's speak about that today as well.
Yeah, for sure. Like
Well,
starting out like with just like marketing on LinkedIn and everything else. Lately, when it comes to marketing on LinkedIn, I did a recent vote. The vote was like saying who has better Mexican food, Texas or California, and I was like saying like yeah, it's not gonna do anything. But I actually got like 5,000 views on it. I haven't checked it recently, but I got around 5,000 views. So votes and like a little bit of text posts have been doing really, really well for me right now. I don't know what's going on, what you're seeing on LinkedIn, but it looks like LinkedIn's that's what they're kind of prioritizing. And when it comes to videos, LinkedIn's not prioritizing anything. So that's what I've been seeing lately and so far. What have you been seeing? Yeah, though.
you, it's a bit the same like you.
Yeah.
Polls always got like get the engagement. They're very popular. I think it's because the people who don't feel safe to place the comments and create the content, the polls are the safe place, so they can
True.
vote, and
Yeah.
this still gives them the opportunity to engage with the platform. Um, and the long posts for you, I see, yeah, that you have really good long posts. That's why people engage. But I think it changes time to time, and this is our
Yeah.
daily practice to train the algorithm to know our audience, because our audience is changing. We add more and more new followers, new connections. So it's
True.
like it's never staying on one place. So it's just experimenting
Yeah.
and seeing what we can bring more, like use, for example, new formats. We're gonna have this opportunity to use LinkedIn audio rooms. So I think this is a great way
Mhm.
how you can engage people. And what I believe, it's not so important maybe sometimes just to have big number of likes, because those likes are not converting to your prospects, clients, friends, collaborations. So not always the quantity is meaning the quality. So
True. Yeah.
back to
And
you.
like I think it's really valuable and for people to realize like when it comes to LinkedIn, they just sell, 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 sell. And we have this conversation every time that
Yeah.
how personal brand somehow leads to business results. I don't know the connection. Like it makes no sense, but people like to follow people naturally. And if you're constantly making posts on LinkedIn or just content in general, if you're a business and you're just selling to your audience, people don't like that. Like look at the content you look at. You're not trying to be sold to. No one cares about your dumb ebook. Okay? Like let's be honest. Like let's just be honest right now. So if you actually do it in an effort to connect with someone and build that personal brand, saying like, "Hey, I'm going to give you the most value possible." And just to build that relationship, that will somehow build business results. You don't need to sell, sell, sell. Short term, you will win. Yes, sales win short term, but long term, people aren't going to listen to you. But long term, brand, personal brand, that is the where things start to really grow, where you're actually developing a real relationship rather than sales. Like, let's be honest. So yeah,
Yeah.
get your thoughts on that.
Here I have a comment. I just read a post of a friend of mine. He also made a poll, and he had three options to choose. And the question was, what do you do with the prospect who comes to, like, who invites you to connect? And then in the second message, he has this pitch coming shortly. So what do? Are you canceling this connection, or you just, keep going? And I think this is important for us to understand that we are building, like you say, long-term relationship. It's not like there is no quick win of pitching yourself all the time. And personal brand, as we spoke with you before, it's personal, because you need to be personal, not
True.
only selling, but telling who you are, what you like, why you are doing this, what you do, and what you can offer, how can you help. And that is building the relationship, the bridge, and the long-term sales afterwards can follow. So
Yeah.
yeah, only going out with a sales message is a short-term strategy. That's true.
100%. And I think where I really come and learned recently is understanding your communication style and then scaling it. So, like for example, when it comes to writing and copywriting, I am awful. If you got me to try to like copyright anything, it'll look like a third grader wrote it. Let's just get that straight. I cannot copyright. I'm not. That is not my method of communication, just in general. But if you say, Victor, I need you to get on a video and communicate what you need via words, then
Yeah.
I'm there. I am there. That is my type of stuff. But that's what it comes down to. And once I understood that was my method of communication, like I sent you that video update today. Like I send those like video updates, like saying, "Hey, yeah, but this is what's happening. I tried this and this and this, and this is and I'm doing this." And then I send those updates 300 times a day to all my employees, to clients.
This is your specialty.
Yes, and so that way I can show what the issue is, and I can communicate that via words, and that's my best method of communication. And then I scale that. So that's how I've been able to communicate rapidly throughout my company, through communicating to other people, communicating to clients, and I just scale that. So it's really important to figure out what your method of communication. Maybe it is copywriting. Maybe it is auditory. Maybe it is via video or whatever personality.
True.
Like it really comes down to figuring out, okay, what best am I doing at this, and then figuring out how to communicating that to other people. So like for example, I have a client saying, Victor, you got to stop sending me video updates, just respond to me via text, because usually most clients end up liking my video updates, but one client was like, no. So it was really hard. I was trying to convey a very complex topic to him, and
Yeah.
I had to do it through text. So I sat there for like 10 minutes, and I said it, had to say it out loud. I was like, okay, you have to start the process. And then I had to say it out loud. I literally have to say it out loud. And for me to type it as I say it out loud, it was that difficult for me. And then basically I did one version of the text version. I said, hey, here's the text version. I did my best on this, but here's also the video version. So then he goes, okay, Victor, the video version is way better. I had no idea what you meant via the text version, but like the video version actually made sense. So he says, okay, Victor, you can just keep sending the video versions. But anyway, like to answer the question, it's important to figure out what your method of communication style is and then scale it, whatever that is, and through content. So if that's blogs, if that's copywriting, LinkedIn text kills it right now. Like, and if it's auditory running podcasts, if it's other things, and it's just like figuring that part out.
But I think, Victor, it's also important, as we know, you really care about your team. And I think this scaling and finding your tone of voice, which really fits your personality and also helps you to explain your message more clearly, is leading to less miscommunication externally and internally, right? Like you are a team lead, and it's very crucial for you on a daily basis. Like the way how you choose video is the most proper for you to keep contacting your team and delivering the results to your clients, right?
True. Like, and it's, since we had to scale up so fast, it's very difficult to actually get the culture right, because I have to really like prioritize that. And what's interesting, I always find this concept really fascinating to me, because I am such a fast worker. Like I am like I am like this. My mind is literally nonstop every second of the day. My mind is constant, like nonstop. But at the same time, you would think I'd be like a horrible like boss. Like you would think I would say, where is this? Where is this? Where is this? No. Like I go, no, like it's okay. Like it's like, hey, if you're busy with something, hey, if you have a family issue, whatever, like go do that. Like it's not the end of the world. I'm not gonna die. Like we'll figure it out. Like I it's interesting that I have the fast mentality, but at the same time, not the aggressive deadline culture. So
Yeah.
luckily, and I've been able to build that within my company. So people work really fast, but when I ask them, most people aren't stressed. Most of the stress is caused from our clients, and that's a whole other conversation. But like when it comes down to it, they're doing a lot of things, and they have a lot of tasks. But when I ask them, hey, are you stressed? And like, is there any way I can help you? And they say no. Like they most of the time they say no, I'm good. Like I'll get through it. And we have that really strong work ethic advocacy on it, and it works really well. And I like it. I like it for sure.
I think you remind me of several things. Like one thing is that we are flooding our audience with content that, like you said, you are a fast worker, and
Yeah,
it's important that we, even if we want to share the information and give
true.
support, that this information should be relevant and easily understood, so our audience don't have stress and don't turn away. But
Yeah.
another thing, but I forgot it.
Yeah, no worries. I
There
said a
were a
lot of
few
different
things.
things there. I said a lot of different
No,
things
no,
there. Yeah, but
no. There was another thing, but I forgot it. But it will come back.
yeah, like we're at the point, so we're with one of our clients, they basically are pushing like our employees. They have a very different culture. Let's just say that. Within theirs is it's a very different culture, and it's fast paced, but they say, "Hey, I need this as soon as possible. As soon as possible." Like that they use that on every single thing. Where is this? I need this as soon as possible. And like it brings out a whole other negative feedback. And so, yes, if you're toxic, you will get what you want short term. Like you will get like whatever you want out of that employee short term. Long term, that employee will leave as fast as they humanly can. But that's where I flip the script. I say, hey, no, I want to help you as much as possible, provide the most value, and make it where you're happy. And as long as you're happy, I know you're going to at least try. Like that is the end goal.
but
Like all I can do is make sure people communicate and make sure they're happy, and I know they will at least try. And
but you
with
can do it also with your
yeah,
content online. Like they can follow and more read you, more understand what's Victor up and what you have to say. So what you
yeah.
do online and how you communicate with like the audience.
And this leads me to an actually interesting piece of my conversation. So I recently made like a video about my life. Okay. Like so not recently. I made a video from like how I got all the way up to this point. Okay. Just
I'm curious. I'm
from like
curious. I need a link because
yeah.
algorithm is
No, it
not
actually shows
serving it.
every aspect of my life from birth. Like it goes from birth, from like year one, two, three, four, like all the way up to how I got up to this point. And like it's really amazing. And I was like, I want to show my employees this. Like I want to show them how context of why I am the way I am. And it was really powerful. Like they were like, "Wow, like Victor, you're a good dude." Like I always saw you. They saw before they saw me as like, "Oh, just business, like things like that."
Yeah,
But the more I connect with them on a personal level, like I started doing TikToks. We'll get to that in a second. But basically,
yeah, yeah.
I just do TikToks. I post it in our Slack channel, and they all make fun of me. They make memes of me, but it makes it where it's more like of a community. That's where it's really like starting to become, and that's what I really like where I show a lot of my personal life to my employees, and they're able to connect with me on a whole other level, and I like that. It makes it where they feel it's just a whole other level of experience. You're not just on just it's kind of the same philosophy on the content side. I show everything about my personal life. I connect on a personal level more than a professional, because if I could be professional, but you're going to be more filtered. You're going to be the filtered version of yourself. And no one wants that. No one wants the filtered version of yourself. If you connect on a personal level, it's going to be so much more meaningful. So
Yeah.
that's why I do have the same philosophy for my employees, saying, "Hey, I want to connect with you on a personal level because I know it's going to create a meaningful relationship."
But I totally agree with you. We have a greeting from Gabe. He's watching us live. He just messaged me. Hi, Gabe. Uh, this reminds me of a recent message I received from one of my connections, and she mentioned that she really likes my personal posts because they really resonate on her, like on
Yeah.
personal level. And she said also that sometimes she just tries to find those posts and goes back to my profile and looks for those specific posts, just to refuel those emotions and then get more inspired and get more empowered. So it's like, wow, I'm on LinkedIn to help businesses and professionals to be more effective on LinkedIn, but still I talk personal, and actually this personal is connecting me with my audience, and then builds up relationship, and they can trust me their LinkedIn life as well.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
being personal is important. But Victor, I remember what I wanted to say
yeah,
regarding the
right. Yay.
Gabe who is watching us. Actually, he took how to say, he took over idea of posting 10 posts per day. This is about this working speed working, and speed publishing content, and being like overloading your audience with information. But this is kind of cool when you are triggering algorithm, and proving that even if you post 10 times a day, you can still, all of your posts can reach the audience. So I love those experiments, that it's not that we have to follow one rule, that we can still experiment. We can talk about experiments later. You have those TikTok experiments and personal experiments on Instagram. I follow you everywhere.
I'm glad. But yeah, like I'm a firm believer in the blitz strategy, meaning that if you I'd rather you post 5 times a day of lower quality, like medium quality post, than do one post every 3 days of your high quality post.
Yeah.
Because your quality is going to be off of your judgment, not your audience's judgment. So if you're able to scatter and post 5 different posts, you're going to see what your customer likes, what your client,
Mhm.
customer, whatever your audience
True.
likes,
True.
rather than what your own mind is, because that's just not how it works. Like you might post some random thing, and then all of a sudden you see what your audience, that might trigger an insight to what your audience actually likes, rather than what you like actually perceive they like. And you can't make decisions for them. You can't do that. If you're not
But
testing and you're trying to be a perfectionist about it, you're going to lose, like straight up. We have a,
yeah.
like, if you are trying to get into content marketing and you are a perfectionist, you will lose. There's no doubt about it. If you're not testing new things, and you have the very like filtered mindset of just testing, only doing one category and saying, "Oh, my audience doesn't like that." As soon as you make that decision for them, you will lose. There's no doubt about it.
True.
So, and especially unless you test 500 posts, then you can say, "Okay, my audience probably does not like that." Then after 500, you can might maybe be able to make that decision. But if you are just saying that off of 3 posts that you did, it's not even a question. So it's important. It's important.
This leads me to the concept that it's important for us to find our tone of voice, the content type which is more organic for ourselves, so we
Yeah.
can express ourselves. Like for me it's like photography, for you it's video,
Yeah.
but on the other hand it's good to find a balance what your audience wants to hear. So I mean the
True.
content itself, so you have to, and align the content, the value within the format, you feel more organic. So it should be like a mix and match. This is very interesting. You cannot follow any other personality because you need to find this unique uh,
True.
match your own way. That's great.
True.
But have you posted 500 posts actually, Victor?
I have
Do you know?
not. I don't think so. I post about once a day, every weekday on LinkedIn for about 8 months. That would be less than 500. With YouTube, maybe everything combined,
Yeah, everything
maybe,
combined.
but
Sure,
like
sure.
then you have to like it's 500 posts for each platform. So you have to think like it depends
Yeah,
like on the platform, like
yeah.
different
How you
context.
measure, right?
Like, there's so much testing that you have to do. Like, you have to understand the platform, make sure it's contextual to the platform.
Yeah.
You can't take something you post on Facebook, put it on LinkedIn. You have to put your LinkedIn formatting. I actually like
True.
I've been training some of my employees that kind of understand the formatting on LinkedIn. It's different. Like you can't just like paragraph a text. You have to break it apart. You have to use
Mhm.
brackets. You have to use all these different things to kind of succeed on LinkedIn.
But
There's a lot of like things to make it contextual to the platform. That's what I'm learning with TikTok right now, making contextual TikTok content, and that's been performing a lot better now. So, just so you know, I yesterday I made the decision I'm going to do one TikTok a day. So that is going to be
for
very,
how
very
long or
interesting.
forever?
Yeah. So, because here's why. Here's why I made that decision. That
Tell
is where
me.
all content is going, and that is going to be the new normal for content. And it's going to be important for me to understand the context
True.
of how to make contextual content for that. Yes, my audience is not like most of my audience is not on TikTok. Yes, it will be sort of a waste of time, but knowing that I'm going to be on top of the game of the next new phase of content marketing, that's important
Mm,
for me. If everyone is starting to adopt this idea of this new contextual content, I need to learn that. And so once I learn that, I'm going to be able to market it. And once I be able to market it, I'm going to be able to do it effectively. So that's why it's
true.
super important for me to learn how to make TikToks. Then I can start understanding how to market it to make clients succeed. So that's what I'm excited about. So that's why I've kind of really started to dominate
Yeah,
and try to make
we are test rabbits, right,
yeah,
Victor?
yeah.
We are test
Exactly.
rabbits. We have to test everything ourselves.
Yes, we do. We do. But hey, that's the fastest. The people that test and learn the fastest are the ones that win in this game. It's just how it is.
Actually, Gabe is asking if we see any comments because we use your new platform. Do we see any comments? We don't know, Gabe. We're gonna see that
We
afterwards.
see them
Audience
on
view.
on YouTube. Yeah. Uh, so yes, I see comments on the actual LinkedIn platform. Yeah, but
Oh,
it wouldn't
LinkedIn.
be into the tool. So yeah, I see his comments here. So yeah. But yeah, that's basically
I
it so far.
see a slide. Oh,
Yeah, I know.
yeah.
Looks good.
Cool. We have
Looks
so
good.
many comments from Gabe.
I know. Gabe's just
Super.
nonstop. He's an animal.
Ed Sheeran, he's laughing about that. And thank you, my natural hair.
My employees have been making so many memes of me. It is actually like so funny. It's I love it. I love it. It's really amazing to see them interact, especially through social media. They're all friends on Facebook, and I see how they really interact with each other, and they like laugh, and I'm like, wow, it's like really a community. Like it really
Yeah,
is. Like
yeah,
it really is just like a community, and I really love it. The culture that we've been able to create, and it's really the proudest thing. Like I really don't care. Like I could care less about what clients we get or whatever business success, but like really, it just comes down to like, hey, like we have a really strong culture, and it makes it where um it's enjoyable. And I had
true.
someone that asked me yesterday. I was like, "Hey, why do you get up in the morning?" And I answered, "Well, I get up in the morning because of people. Like that's at the end of the day, like people is the reason why I wake up. And because
True.
at the end of the day, we want the relationships. We want to get that that connection with other people, and that's where all the value is. There's no way I could wake up for money or anything else. Like even accomplishments. I like you would think as hard as I work and everything else that I would be getting up every day for accomplishments. It's really I don't care. Like and at the end of the day, I work so hard to yes try to accomplish as much as possible and progress myself, But at the end of the day, it's all about relationships. That's where you're going to get that fulfillment, and the feeling of satisfaction is by helping other people. That is how that works. We in our brains, the human brain is programmed to get a feeling of fulfillment after helping someone. That, like, genuinely helping people. That is how we get that feeling of fulfillment. But so if you are very goal oriented and you're only focused on accomplishing something, you're going to constantly get that feeling of never fulfillment within your mind. But when you actually start helping people, that's when you start getting that feeling of fulfillment, saying, "Wow, I did something good for someone else," and that's when you start feeling better as a person. Yeah.
But but about this fulfillment, this is actually what we feel, when we engage with our community, like or on LinkedIn or on social media. This is where we feel that we have been heard, that it's relevant for someone, and this gives us like wings, and we can move on and think more of more value we can deliver to our audience. So this feedback is really important, the commitment and engagement, so people share this great energy. And
Yeah.
yeah, it's important. It's not only about creating content, it's also about engaging
Mhm.
uh,
Yeah.
at
And
it.
and a lot of people say, like, "Okay, I don't know what content to create," or like, "I can't
Yeah,
anything particular." And first of all, it's important for you to first, number one rule, understand the context of the platform. So if you're trying to
yeah,
either learn LinkedIn or learn TikTok, go through TikTok, go through LinkedIn, understand the context of the platform. Like, even though I don't read, I hate text, I realize,
yeah,
like, wow, I'm reading a lot on LinkedIn. I'm reading so much more than I ever like but when I read, I'll read, like, I'll sit there for 2 or 3 minutes and just read content on LinkedIn. And I realized that about myself. I was like, wow, and me reading, that's crazy. I didn't even know that I could do that. And but when I go on TikTok, if I see something longer than 4 words, I'm skipping. Like, just understand and analyze yourself in the context of the platform. You might go on LinkedIn, read a ton, and read there and sit there forever. But when you go, as soon as you go on TikTok, you're gonna sit there for what, maybe 3 seconds. And if it has more than 4 words, you're out of there. So once you understand the context of the platform, then you can say, okay, now that I understand context, I can actually let me try to think of something and try to think of like, why maybe I'm different or anything else, or maybe a joke that I thought of, and just try out and just fail. Like, literally, just whenever your first TikTok, your first LinkedIn,
yeah.
say, "Hey guys, I'm gonna start posting now. Yeah, here we go. This is my first post. See ya." And that's your first post. There you go. And now
But
you accomplished your fear of posting, and then from there, you just start learning and keep testing new posts, and that's the basically way to do it.
But I think, Victor, the beauty of experimenting, testing is not only for the users, but also for those platforms. Like, as we know, LinkedIn is launching like all the time something new. The
Yeah,
bell function, audio rooms. I don't know,
yeah,
the newsletters for pages,
hmm,
newsletters for creators. But like TikTok, they have increased the length of the videos.
true,
This is also in, like, it used to be so short videos, and now you can record several minutes, so it's like
yeah,
completely, or it's this different audience, or it's like the different needs of the same audience. It's like they are experimenting and offering this option, and I think it's gonna find its audience also, the long videos on TikTok.
yeah. I totally agree. And we're really changing up our content strategy. So we used to take a lot of these webinars and post them out, but that hasn't been working a lot lately. I think we have tested at least about 50, 100 posts. And then as soon as I made a TikTok, I made basically a TikTok about Amazon sellers, saying, like, "Oh yeah, Amazon selling is so easy. That'll be so no problem." And I started, like, doing all the problems, and like I made it very contextual. Is basically what I'm saying. Like,
Yeah,
saying, like, all these problems, and it's just me going like this, like, yes, all these problems that are like we have every single day. So I made it contextual. I made a connection point, and it's doing a lot better. So now it's time for me to create more TikToks, test more different things, and really understand that content. And it's important for me to understand that. So not only do like the my employees need to understand it. I need to understand it so that way I know how to communicate it as well.
Sure.
So that's another conversation I want to go into real fast about that. It's important for you as the entrepreneur, manager, someone, director, whatever it may be, to learn the subject
Yeah.
you are in, so that way you can communicate it effectively. So, for example, I've seen managers that say, "Hey, Victor, create me a website," and then like if you say that, like there's a million different things that like go into it. But once you start to take 10 minutes to understand like what are all the things that go into a website? What platforms do I use? And taking 10 minutes to understand that process, and now I can communicate to my team extremely effectively saying, okay, I need a Shopify website. We're going to put their catalog in, take the product images, put them here. Here's the content. And I have context. So I can communicate effectively exactly what I want. And they're able to do that the first time. But if you don't take that 10 minutes to learn
Mhm.
what you're trying to explain, then you're going to be an ineffective communicator. And if you become an ineffective communicator, you are going to waste a lot of time. That 10 minutes that you took to learn the platform is going to be so much more valuable than the all the hours and hours of miscommunications, even hundreds of hours of miscommunications that are going to happen in the future. So basically, when we hire a new employee of something I don't know anything about, I say, hey, great. Like for example, we're hiring an email marketer, and I say, hey, great. I need you to teach me the platform. I have no idea what the platform is. Just show me it. Help me understand it, and let's go through it. And they'll go through and they'll teach me each part of the platform, everything that there is. And now I have context of what they're doing.
Yeah.
So now when I communicate, hey, for the emails, I want dynamic content at the top. I want to do test some subject creatives here, and then I want to test content at the bottom and the footer. And now I have context. I'm able to communicate that, and now they know exactly what I want. So understanding that is crucial, and taking that 10 minutes to learn what they're doing is really amazing.
That's good that you mentioned that. I think it's very important for us to take the ownership, of what we
Yeah.
have, because then you are giving away this product to your customer, or we are giving away the content on social media, and this is our um, duty, to go there and experiment and
Yep.
test and learn and understand how it's working, so we can help others with that. So it's just a natural part of learning. You have to be there. You cannot just talky. You have to know the thing. It's your subject. That's true. I think it's great to have the ownership of what you do. And
Yeah.
like you say, it's much easier to communicate than in the team. If you are like the entrepreneur and you have a leader of the team you have to manage, and or you are solo. You have to know what to do.
Yeah. And like within no matter what business you're in, you're going to have to communicate effectively. And there's a lot of things that when it comes to effectivity and like focusing and things like that. Is there anything on efficiencies or being effective? Is there anything that you want to add on to that? That you have any ideas there?
um Gabe is giving
Oh
us
yeah,
another questions on
yeah. Here you
here
go.
as
Let's go
well.
through that. What advice?
um
What advice would you give someone wanting to start and sharing their content to
Sharing,
find
yeah,
prospects or leads?
or prospects. But we can now jump to the Gabe's question as well. But I think this effectiveness starts with knowing your aim.
Yep.
When you for sure that your customer is on that platform, that means that then you have to do what Victor you are doing. The learning, understanding, and then you can start to build this presence. And then by learning, you find out what are the effective things you should do and how you should spend your 5 minutes or 30 minutes or 1 hour you do on each platform. But then you do the most effective like activities, how you post, how you distribute, how you engage,
Hmm.
or what kind of content you post, what kind of context you post.
Yep.
I think this is what you learn if you are really really serious. If
Yeah.
it's just for posting, I've posted there, I've done the job. So it's not going to bring you any results because you're not effective, you don't have any aim. But
Yeah.
what could be the advice for
Yeah.
the start? We are good always about this, right,
Yeah.
Victor? Go
Yeah.
experiment, don't be shy. Just there's supportive community like Gabe, me, Victor. We are so there's so many people who are supporting your you know first steps. So
Mhm.
just start by little, and always look what other people do. And I think it's great when you look at other examples and let yourself feel how do you, if you like it or you don't like it, and then it's the good starting point. What you don't like, don't go that direction, because it should be from your heart, it should be personal. So
Sure.
you have to put your personal attitude to what you do on social media. So always start with what you like, comfortable with, one sentence, one video, one meme,
Yep.
one gif, whatever.
Yeah. So Gabe, I'll try to give this as actionable as possible for you. So it starts out with first defining your audience. So for example, me, most of my audience is Amazon sellers, people that sell on Amazon and are looking to increase their sales. So basically, what I did is I started the Amazon News, my Amazon newsletter, and basically it's a super easy way where I go. Amazon changes every 48 hours, and we do the latest post of what's changing in Amazon, and we make it a nice, neat list, and we post that out for them. And it does really well, and where they can just constantly look. Okay, here's the latest updates. Here's what's going on, and then we send that out in a newsletter where it's super easy and super easy to read. And we have really high open rates. We have really high engagement on those particular things. So it makes it where it's like super helpful for us. So
What is the open rate, Victor? What is
I,
the
I
open rate?
actually have 50% open rates on my emails.
50.
Yeah, 50,
50. That's
50%.
quite good. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because the normally baseline is like 13 to 20,
Yeah.
but I get
Yeah.
about 50%. So with that in mind, you can either go that level on the business level or the personal level, meaning or like in both. I do both. So meaning that you attach with them, literally talk about whatever you want to talk about. If you want to say, Victor, I love golf. Like I want to just talk about golf my entire life. I would be bored out of my mind listening to you. But if you love golf, that is awesome. There are other people in the world that love golf as well. So then you can make that personal attachment with them. So that way you can go to a whole new level and go to a whole other level of personalization and have that personal attachment to them. And naturally, as people start to understand you, then you'll be able to connect with them. So, like, when it comes down to it, I want you to be okay with talking about something that is completely unrelated to your business because you have to think I have a huge business now and I have not done one sales post on my LinkedIn ever. Ever. I have never, no one knows what I do. Most
That's
people have
true.
no idea what I
Yeah.
do until they actually set up a call with me. They have to physically ask me, Victor, what do you do? That's the only way people have ever been
Do
able to
you
find
work
out
for
what
Amazon? Do you work for Amazon?
What's that? Okay, say that one more time.
No,
What
I
did you
mean, maybe people ask you, do you work for Amazon? Do you hear
Yeah,
me?
I don't work for Amazon, but I do a lot of Amazon actually looks to me for all their content and all their news and all their recent changes, which is actually crazy. That's a whole other thing.
Cool.
But with that in mind, just realize that building your personal brand, the more people that know your name is so valuable that just keep creating relationships. So, for example, here's an actionable one. This is an actionable step for you, Gabe. So, right here, you can say, "Hey, what get one of your clients, get them on a podcast, and just say, hey, let's just have a conversation about what's the biggest problems right now for you." Okay, so now you have someone that's on and you're discussing your audience, your client, and you're going through all the problems that they have that will be relevant to your audience, making it a lot more effective for you. And you could take that content, post it on social media, make other content about it, make text content on LinkedIn for it, and now you're able to scale content, figure out what your client problems are, and then branch that out and scale that to your audience. So um that'll be why you're basically going, and that'll be very actionable for you to kind of go off with actually there.
But do you know what Gabe is doing? He's actually helping. his network to launch the live streams on LinkedIn and elsewhere. It's Gabe's specialty. He's a pro in this field. That's why he
Perfect.
was like asking our technical questions, what platform we use, and like on and so on. But
Yeah.
Gabe gave us a good question regarding the accomplishment and goal achieved by sharing content. I think for me it relates to what you spoke before regarding being personal, and
Yeah.
when people approach you in messages and they say, yeah, I feel like I know you forever, it's just because of your post, it's like, and we
Yeah.
haven't met in person ever, but
True.
it's like through your content I feel that we are connected, that you are my friend, that's for
True.
me, I think, the biggest achievement.
Yeah, like it really comes down to like that like relationship. Like it makes it where you want to be able to scale relationships as much as possible. Like whether if it's literally saying, "Hey guys, I want to get to know all my LinkedIn audience. Here's my Calendly. Let's schedule a call." Like literally, and don't even talk about sales. Like I don't want you to even talk about your business. Just
Yeah.
say, "How was your day?" Like literally, in any of my client calls, I do not care if they become clients. Could actually not care less. Like literally, I'm gonna provide as much value to you. If we're not a good
Yeah.
fit, we're not a good fit. I'm gonna like if they ask me what I do, awesome. Like at the end of the day, I'm just gonna have a personal conversation with them, and then we'll eventually say, "Hey, okay, Victor, what do you actually do?" And then we get into it. But like at the end of the day, like I don't care if they become a client. It's just I want to provide the most value. And they go, "Wow, this guy really just wants a relationship from me. He doesn't actually want anything from me. He just wants to have a relationship." And once they realize that, they go, "Okay, like it just makes sense." So like that's what it comes down to is the relationships. It's a huge portion of that. But I've been able to create some amazing relationships with like huge clients from that just by doing that, just by connecting with people.
Yeah, you cannot cheat on trust, right? This is something that is built like a natural pace and through genuine like attitude towards
True.
people. And
Yeah.
I think it's also the reason why you are, how to say, able to help clients on different platforms, different channels, um, because you build trust and you are testing, and those platforms where you work, so people trust you and you can help them there and they can achieve your more results. So the trust, and you owning your professional quality is like the bringing good results for you and your clients.
Yeah. Yeah, 100%. And that's the way to approach it. Like when it comes down to it, it's just figuring out where you can scale, where you can learn the fastest and kind of grow from there. And um, is there any other topic that you wanted to make sure that we brought up, Yeva, like when it comes to everything else going um, on the employee level, on repurposing engagement, like trying new formats? Is there anything else you want to go into, like conversation wise?
Maybe we can just jump on some mixing content. I don't know, maybe newsletter, for example, on LinkedIn is a great way how you can mix, like you can put the gifs and videos and links and everything. How do you feel like mixing this communication between the channels in the channel? How I think for me it gives more opportunities, more flexibility. How do you feel about that?
Yes. So I'm a total believer in like let's be honest, we all use more than two or three social medias.
Yeah,
Like that we all do. Like we know you're on Instagram and then
yeah,
you'll go on LinkedIn. Like those are two completely different platforms. Like two completely different platforms. And your state of mind in those are going to be totally different. So I'm a total believer in being on everything, but start out where you're comfortable. I started on LinkedIn. I was comfortable. I said, okay, my audience is on LinkedIn. Victor, you have to learn LinkedIn. I need you to do one post a day. And me forcing myself to do that changed my life forever. It will forever change my life posting once a day on LinkedIn. And because once you learn to do one post a day on LinkedIn, then you do one
yeah,
post somewhere else, one post somewhere else, and then you start scaling. Then more people start
yeah,
hearing about you, and like it really comes down to like think about it like working out. Like you have to keep pushing yourself to do it because everyone here, everyone listening knows it's important. That's without a doubt. I don't have to convince you that posting every single day will somehow benefit you. Most people know that by now. And being on social media is so important. It's saying the next question is, oh, I don't know what content to post or whatever it may be. Like literally just say like, hey, this is my first post. Hey, this is my second post. Hey, this is my third post. And then literally that can be your habit starter. You know how they say it takes like 12
Yeah,
days to
true.
start a habit? Like literally the first 12 days saying, okay, still don't know what to think of. Thanks guys. But like the second post, third post, fourth post. And then you'll start to get in the habit. And then all of a sudden, you'll start thinking things in your sleep that you just randomly think of and say, oh my gosh, that's such a good idea. This will make such a good LinkedIn post. Like, whatever it may be, it's going to start to naturally come to you. You just have to start that habit. You have to start that habit.
By the way, do you have the list of those ideas? Remember, you started with a list. Do you still
Um, I
make it?
I have my to-do. I use Google Notes and
Yeah.
I used up all my characters, so I had to delete them. You only get 50,000 characters. That's how many characters I used, and I have to delete my previous. Like every time I make the post, I delete the
Ah,
characters
okay.
in my notes to make
Yeah.
room. But yes, I have so many ideas within my brain that I have more than 50,000 characters. So that's a lot of words.
But
So
I
yeah.
think it's very, very empowering for those who are still thinking about starting creating content, that you can, just trust your intuition and just go with the flow and experiment with your ideas, and you will find less you do, more longer the it will take for you. So once you decide that it's important for you just to learn the platform, just start experimenting, and you will find your voice and know the tricks and discover
Yeah.
your audience and find the
Yeah.
value which fits the audience. So I think it's just a matter of, yeah, how you say, consistency and being there.
Yeah. 100%. Like it's really about being consistent there. And I'm trying to really think about anything else that would be actionable because a lot of people are starting to try to go on TikTok too. And I'm going through those stages right now of forcing myself to do it and
Yeah.
understanding context. So, wherever you're trying to be, and whatever it may be, even if you don't think your audience is necessarily there, it's still going to be helpful to understand the context of each individual place. So that way you can either advertise it effectively or just take it on. Any insight is going to be helpful for you because when it comes to content, you're going to start with one idea. And then you're gonna say, okay, this posted this. Like someone commented, Yeva commented on my post, and that's gonna start a whole other conversation for me. So it's really important to get those insights and constantly digest that information because you're gonna get lots of ideas. So yeah,
And I think when you are using or learning different platforms, like several platforms, it also gives you more understanding how you can leverage the content from one platform to another
true.
platform, like this repurposing. This is very important for, I think, you can see how the big names use, for example, TikTok, and they share the TikToks on Instagram, and they do some slight changes, and they share the same, almost the same content on LinkedIn. And this is like when we see a lot of I don't know, Twitter content coming to the LinkedIn. So it's like this mix, and the flow of the content from one platform to another. This is like the trend. It's not gonna stop, so that's why we need to understand other platforms as well, not only our first platform. We need a couple of them. So I think this is important for us to understand.
Yeah, like especially just as marketers in general, it's going to be vital to understand each particular spot. And just to go through like so I did my first TikTok like ever, really, like my first actual, like everything else has been like repurposed content. It's never been
Yeah.
actual contextual content, like me literally grabbing my phone, me creating the TikTok and actually going through that process. As soon as I did that, in my notes right now, I have last night I was just like constantly thinking I have 9 TikToks right now that like TikTok ideas from that. Just from creating that one random video that I did. I say,
Perfect.
"Oh my gosh, I can do this. Oh my gosh, I can do this. Oh my gosh, I can do this. Oh my gosh, I can do this." And so I'm gonna like literally I'm gonna record probably 4 or 5 TikToks today. So that way I have enough to like scale it out. I'm gonna try to do
Yeah.
as much as I can in bulk, but like I'm gonna figure it out, and there's so much organic reach there and potential. But just start with one, try to figure it out, and just see what you can do. It's just interesting.
But I think this leads also the businesses and professionals that if you start, that it's very easy for you to become more effective, that you are really great in scaling, right?
Yeah, yeah, like yeah, it will. It will. Like when it comes to scaling out and making that content contextual, that's why I
Yeah.
really don't believe in social media tools, like posting tools, because like yes, it will make it faster for you to post the same post you have on Facebook to the same post you have on LinkedIn. Yes, it will make that process faster, but it's not going to be contextual. That's the problem. You have to do it smartly, where you can actually make it contextual to the platform, and that's why I haven't been using a lot of social media, at least social media posting tools, when it comes to that. Yeah.
Cool. I think we are approaching the finish line of the live. It's gonna finish like straight in around hour, or how it's gonna happen.
I think
You
I
know
can
better.
actually, and I have no idea
Ah,
actually.
cool. So, but I
Oh, and
think
yeah,
this
I can
this
end it.
hour
Yeah.
slide quite fast as always, right, Richard? Well, yeah, Richard. I was thinking about example of Richard, my colleague, and I named you Richard. That's funny. I hope Richard is not watching.
But yeah, that will at least so it won't end right then. So I can actually set the end time. So we have like five-ish minutes, 10 minutes. Is there anything else that you wanted to communicate when it comes to everything else, when it comes to just content marketing, like business philosophy, like employee philosophy, anything else like that? Is there anything else you wanted to kind of talk about there?
I think that that's great question to add. I think it's for now. I think so many businesses are thinking and discovering that they cannot go anywhere without the help of their employees. And think
Yeah.
this employer branding, employee advocacy, brand ambassadors, those words like influencer marketing. It's getting now more stronger and more seriously. People take it like more personally, because now businesses re- I would say really depend on their employees. So I think this is something what companies should take more seriously and approach their employees as a partners, as a team members, and really bring on some strategies, build up some strategies with their most warmest, like most open to social media employees, and then start to build this swell, like internal swell, when those who are feeling comfortable in social media can help to onboard those who are still like the cold ones, or just putting thumbs, or just not feeling confident. I think this is important.
Yeah, and I really see it as like such an accomplishment that like within the employee landscape that they're able to connect on a personal level and really creating that community with like I really never thought in a million years I would be able to create like a community of employees, but just seeing how they interact on Facebook and seeing the way they communicate and things like that, um, it it really is like a community. And because normally you would think like the way normal interaction within at least America is like, oh, I don't want to talk to this person after work. I'm done for the day. Like whatever that's usually it is. I'm done with this person for the day. I don't want to talk to them. Like,
Yeah.
and then like we'll talk to them during working hours because I have to talk to them. But they have a different, it's like a different philosophy. It's like, hey, like I did that post about, hey, like I love my employees so much. And then they like all like responded and shared it. Like it's just funny to have that and really connecting on that personal level. In that personal life video I had, like it really resonated with a lot of employees, that the ones that ended up watching it. It's like an hour of just everything that happened in my life. And they're like, wow, like you just are like you you like you're a really good dude is basically the way a lot of people took away from it. And I mean, I all I can do is I say I try my best, but it's it's interesting giving more context into your life, the more people will resonate and making it where that relationship is stronger. So just applying context to way you live your life because it's different for each person, it makes things
Yeah.
interesting. Yeah.
And imagine what is the impact of those employees if they feel more related to you as a person on the personal level? What
Yeah.
is the impact they can do on the communication of the company or your communication? How many bubbles they can reach, and what is the possibility of your brand awareness, like employee awareness or your personal brand awareness? So I think, yeah, those relationships, they can really help also in brand awareness. So I think
Yeah.
that's very important to be personal, approachable, and this is the struggle for the business owners, entrepreneurs, how how to go out and how to start to speak on personal level. Just because you want to help your business, why personal? But the personal
Yeah.
is the personal actually is the place where you have to start.
True.
Uh, yeah, so
A
that
100%. I believe it so much that like you should be if you're at a level where you don't care about connecting with other people and you only care about the business, then that's your mindset. And that's okay if you're like
yeah,
that. But if you're trying to build a long-term business from that philosophy of sales, it is a short-term business model. Like, let's just be honest. If you only care about the relationship by the
yeah,
financial benefit you get off of it, that is a short-term mindset. So, like, literally, like, I don't care. Like, for example, our interaction, like, our relationship, I know in
yeah,
the next 20 years, like, something amazing is going to happen, and then like I don't even know, like some crazy opportunity is going to happen in the next 20
yeah,
years. And like that's my philosophy. But I'm not going to say like, "Oh, I'm not going to spend time with Yeva. Like she's not going to pay me right now." Like I would never say that. Like I care about the relationship. That is what matters. So it really comes down to a mind shift change, like saying, "Hey, if you the more relationships you build with other people, the more money you will get." It's a direct, almost a direct correlation. Like the more relationships you get, the more opportunities you get, the more money you will eventually get. So it's not, you shouldn't ever look for people by the financial benefit you get out of it, because that is a short-term mindset and you're not going to win. Like long term, you're not going to win just with that. So
And
yeah.
I think there's always this question: why should business be active on social media? It's very shallow, it's just likes and comments. It's
Yeah.
not, nothing serious. It's not serious. But I think this is actually what you said. Building relationships on social media can really, in long term, can play you back really well. And there is this business behind those relationships. Actually, this is business starter.
Yeah. And it's the only long-term way. If you are a business and you are not on social media, in the next 5 to 10 years you will not exist. Let's be honest. Like if whatever method of marketing you're using and you're only working on sales, short term, yes, like I said before, you're going to win, but long term in the next 5 or 10 years if you are not building brand on these social media platforms, you will lose. I don't have to explain that to you. Most people already know that by now. So like you have to be on these platforms to succeed. So yeah.
Yeah, but still, there are people like picking up the phone and calling people, or printing the post, like posters, and putting in your post box. So different kind of communication is still going on, but true, social media is very essential for your business. So
True.
yeah, be present, build relationships, and business is just around the corner.
Yeah.
But just
100%. Yeah.
yeah.
That's all we have time for today, unfortunately. We could talk about this for 4 more hours, I guarantee it. But thank you for everyone for joining. This is the Marketing Perspective Podcast where we get the leading experts. Today we had Yeva, content marketing expert, LinkedIn expert. She's amazing. You can follow her on LinkedIn. She's awesome on LinkedIn, posts the most awesome content there. And we love to have her on. Thank you so much for coming on today, Yeva.
Thank you, Victor. Thank you, everyone who joined us live.
Thank you guys. Talk to you later. Bye.
Bye.
Okay.